Within the times of healing, there are moments within this process, of when one will come to observe, without having the power to resolve the present condition, that the suffering of having the intense desire for the challenge to be over, is but an interference of what the universe has to administer for the virtue of the willing host. The will of the host is for the healing process to come at an end, because of the suffering element, but the universe has been given a task to execute from the divine, which has the appointed time of when all of which the host is currently suffering, and therefore being born from and into. This reveals in terms of when this sacred time for resolution takes its place, of when a percentage of the pain and sorrows will be diminished by way of the process of time and its healing element, so that the one who has been in participation of this time of healing, will have healed sufficiently for the sake of the host to function effectively. In the host possessing the will and the desire to move forwards, is but only of the wanting for the pain and the stress element within the challenge to end upon their own preference. This is an interference of the healing process, considering the host is the primary subject. This is a sacred dilemma, as many of the earth during these times are becoming to understand as living persist. This implies the letting go of the power which one comes to in time realize they never possessed. The gift of having the means to endure is but a part of the healing. The endurance is a time for one to understand that they must come to know that they are not in control in regards of when the healing will end, and therefore of when the pain ends, even enough for them to function effectively for the sake of moving forwards. The act and principle of letting go is what is being distributed to the host and all of its virtues upon the being of the human being. The power of letting go implies accepting the clarity, the reality of the situation, and also in accepting the fact that one can do nothing to resolve it based upon their desires, but to accept the reality of what is the resolve of the divine in accords with the universe, to be at peace with it, and to move forwards and into a period of evolution of when one will see the brilliance of what they have become, and the necessity of the previous condition that has in harmony given substance to what one is currently. One comes to understand the need for isolation after coming to know its indispensable virtues, and of knowing that the time of isolation is but a sacred time for healing and insight to what is in fact needed for his or her living experience, outside of what others may think, and even what they thought themselves. A time of when all relationships have to either be suspended or ended entirely. This is based upon the status of the relationship health-wise within every aspect. The consistent involvement with other human beings has never been a benefit to the human family, as many are coming to know. There are those times for all of when isolation is made imperative for the sanity of the human being. Each individual with their inherited ills, in regards to family ill characteristics unresolved, as well as social inheritances from the environment inherently violent upon immorality, holds but an endangerment for some who are upon a destiny which has superseded the folly of such self-destructive activity, that which can only be destructive to others. Coming to realize the endangerment of what is affecting the host, is when one must take his or her own responsibility for loving themselves, to the magnitude of when they know when it is time for isolating themselves from what they have come to know and understand could be their demise. As we are living inside of a world system which gives the human being the permission to either self-destruct, or to preserve that which is in their potential to survive, it comes to executing your own personal gift of being responsible for oneself. Coming to understand the reality of the need for isolation from all of which has altered your perspective, as well as cause your delivery to become hobbled and therefore indecisive, is vital. In spite of isolation having the reputation of being non-sociable, what is revealed as best for your peace of mind is what in truth matters, and not what anyone or everyone thinks and feels of your journey for a healing in which you deserve, so that you will be able to function properly, that the earth and all of who you were meant to touch will no longer be cheated of your profound destiny as a human being who has nothing less than the will of creating a world of which all will be able to function in productively. All must realize their part in this ordeal and act upon it. Otherwise, what is in the moment acting upon humanity with intention to diminish it, will prevail. Written by David Anthony Brayboy.